Welcome and thank you for joining us again. We will be doing another versus battle. We have Vipre Advanced security going up against ZoneAlarm Extreme security. We wanted to test the Vipre Ultimate security, but there's no download trial as far as what we could see. So the highest package for a trial was Advanced security. Okay, so we've got Vipre on the left. Okay, so we'll be looking at the settings. Okay, so for antivirus, the advanced protection is enabled with all the subcategories as well. We made it most secure and to look inside archives. Edge protection is enabled for the browser. There are no exclusions. Website filtering is enabled. There is no exclusions either. Handle threads automatically is enabled. Catch-up scan, that's just when the scan was missed. Maybe just switch that off. Second layer scan, that's when quick scan finds malware. A full scan gets triggered, similar to Trend Micro. Scan mobile devices, we're not going to enable that. Include low risk programs, excluded from scans. Okay, we only excluded our script, that's it. Wake from sleep, not going to worry about that. Notifications, is everything is enabled. Okay, we'll look at updates. Email, we're not going to test email, but everything under email is enabled. Firewall is enabled. We'll enable boot time protection. IDS is enabled, and we set to block everything from low to high priorities. Okay, these are the rules it created itself. Process protection is enabled and it's blocked with a notify. Firewall's default behavior is standard. Privacy, not going to worry about that. Gaming, we're obviously not going to test. So let's just disable the protection quickly. So we're going to extract the malware. Let's just make sure Defender is also disabled. Okay, seems like Defender does not enable. Okay, so we took this last 6 days worth of samples. As you guys know, we download samples every single day. We download as many new samples which are available. So if we can find any new malware, we download it. Okay, so let's quickly look at ZoneAlarm. Compared to Vipre, it's a bit of an old, outdated GUI. If you look at the website of ZoneAlarm Extreme Security, it looks very modern, very high-tech, next-gen, but when you look at the AV itself, it doesn't really match the marketing. But nonetheless, we're here to test it, so let's look at antivirus and firewall. Okay, so let's have a look here at the settings. We'll go to advanced settings. Okay, so quick scan is just a scan mode, but it's also scan archive, scan options. We selected everything here, but we skipped the, or we didn't select the skip. We wanted to scan everything. Scan target is the whole C drive is selected, and it's selected to scan the whole C drive, also boot sectors and the memory. On access is scan when reading and writing, and it's enabled. Exceptions, we made two exceptions for the malware script, but from file and processes, just to make sure it's not interfered on both of them. Quarantine, behavior scan is enabled, premium protections, everything is enabled. Okay, let's look at firewall. Okay, so we set everything to high, give maximum firewall protection. Trusted zones, we left it as is, we didn't touch anything. Public zone, we left it as is. Under advanced, we left everything here. So it's lock the host file, filter IP traffic, and then VPN protocols, and ask for that. Expert roles, nothing. View zones, we didn't do anything there. Okay, threat emulation. Okay, so enable threat emulations on. We didn't do the ignore and analyze files from the internet, monitor downloads, folders, and desktop. Let's maybe deselect that because that says only files downloaded from the internet. These are going to be local files. Maybe that will help. Application control. We left everything on auto. So the OS firewall is enabled. Application control is enabled. All subsections, advanced, ask for permissions. Server attempts are the same. Alerts and functionality, everything is enabled. Programs, components, programs are just going to list everything. I think it's populating now the programs. Let's see our malware samples. Yeah, so we've got quite a bit of samples. Yeah, it's now trying to populate all the apps. I think while we wait, let's check for Vipre updates. So there are 3 update sections in Vipre. 2 of them are a bit confusing for me, is the auto patches and software updates. So for me, patches are kind of like software updates. So these 2 sections really don't make sense. Ensure Vipre is up to date and does important updates to your to your other software, so you don't have to. Sorry, my bad, I actually misread that. No problem. Okay, let's quickly check for updates. I was about to say that actually didn't make sense, so it's actually my mistake. Okay, so we're not going to wait for that. Okay, so we went through all the antivirus and firewall modules. They're all enabled. Okay, let's go back to web and privacy. Web secure, we've added, that's why there's Chrome on this machine, only machine that has Chrome on it, and we have enabled the plugin which it wanted. Keylogger is enabled. Mobility and data, so anti-ransomware is enabled. Identity protection, we're not going to set that up. I just want to see if the extension is still enabled in Chrome. Okay, so the ZoneAlarm Web Secure is enabled, as you guys can see. Okay, so let's quickly disable. Sorry guys, that little pop-up there is for my server. Seems like it wants some updates. Okay, so Vipre seems to be up to date. And let's just quickly disable snooze the firewall, and we'll snooze the antivirus. Hopefully that's enough. Seems like you only snooze it for 5 minutes. Same amount of samples. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so it seems like Vipre is up to date. I think while we do, let's quickly check for ZoneAlarm updates. There was a new product version, and we installed the product version when we did set up the VM, so it should be on the latest product version. Let's check for auto patches. Okay, so we're waiting for the extraction process. Seems like this is a little bit slower. I'll wait for this, and then when the extraction is completed, we'll do the tests Okay, so the malware extraction is finished. You guys will see that these error messages are here. I just had to redo the extraction and I just said no to all, so that's why we had that. ZoneAlarm can only snooze for 5 minutes, so I think we need to start this test before ZoneAlarm starts blocking. So let's just enable Vipre. Vipre is up to date. I also just need to show you guys, so under here the ThreatNet updates are enabled, so it will send files to help the Vipre community. Everything is up to date and Vipre is up to date. We can go to my Vipre and everything seems fine. Vipre says it's enabled, it's happy, so I think we are good to go. Okay, seems like ZoneAlarm is doing a update automatically. Okay, so computer is safe and protected, so that's good. Resume antivirus, resume firewall. Okay, so seems ZoneAlarm's already picking up malware. Okay, so everything seems good, guys. Anti-ransomware is enabled, web protection, privacy is enabled, antivirus and firewall, as you guys can see, everything is on. So I think we're good to go. I just want to wait for this update quickly. Okay, so product's up to date and anti-spyware is complete. Okay, let's start this test, guys. I think we waited long enough. Okay, let's see who's going to give us our first pop-up. Also for Process Explorer, Virus Turtle enabled, Virus Turtle enabled, and to submit. Also just to point out, there was a subscriber or a YouTube person that actually pointed out that apparently I do not know how Process Explorer works. And I was missing malware. Okay, so I just want to make this as clear as possible for those who are a bit confused. I use the virus total scores to determine if it's malware rated by other vendors. It is obvious that all the files we are testing is malware. So if I glance over the malware that's here and it says it's a 0, hence why I did not show it in previous videos, because we all know it's malware. I'm looking at the results of who is picking it up to see which vendors are and which vendors aren't, but apparently for some people that is a bit of a problem. So from now on, if I do see malware running in the memory, and even if Virus Turtle says there is no rating for it, I'll point it out so that I can make sure that I keep everybody happy. But that's the main reason why I just glanced over it and didn't show it for you guys, as I was just looking to show the Virus Turtle scores. But from now on, as mentioned, if I do see malware running and there's no score, I will point it out. Okay, so obviously Vipre is already starting to block. I haven't actually seen anything from ZoneAlarm. Okay, the test run, guys. I think this is going to take quite some time, quite a bit of malware. If anything interesting happens, I'll point it out. I'll point it out, but otherwise I'm just going to wait for the test to finish. Okay, so we are done on the Vipre machine. Malware execution is finished. So let's quickly have a look, see what is running. Okay, so we have this one still running. It's this one here, so we'll close it. Okay, it's gone. Okay, and then it's only this one. Okay, and it's closed. I can't see any other funny malware names. I'm not going to do a restart on the machine. Vipre didn't ask for it, so I'm just going to jump right into a scan. ZoneAlarm has been not responding and freezing for quite some time, and I had to force restart it. Unfortunately, it's only slowly gaining some ground. Okay guys, so Vipre is still scanning, doing a full scan, and as you guys can see, we obviously have our little sad face, blue skin of death. The ZoneAlarm VM has been giving a lot of problems. Either it's freezing or it's getting super slow and I have to force reset it, and now obviously executing malware again. Before this, there was a ransomware notification of ZoneAlarm where it stopped the ransomware and you can repair the file, etc., and the file was modified. And then not long after that, more malware executed, and now we have this beautiful background. So I'm gonna give it a chance to complete, to dump the files, and then I'm gonna boot it up. I think I'm then just gonna start the scan, because I think this is the how manyth time. I don't think I've got enough fingers on both my hands to count most probably how many times this machine rebooted. So it did execute quite a bit of malware, so I'm just gonna wait till it's up and running, and then I'm just gonna start the scan. I'm not gonna execute any more malware just for time's sakes, to keep this video as short as possible, but I just want to point out that we have a bit of a problem, and then we'll continue the scan. Okay, so I'm finally managed to get the machine going, so I'm running a full system scan with ZoneAlarm. I think I'm gonna let these two run overnight. It's getting late. I'm gonna turn in. Once I'm back at my desk, I'll continue. So I'm doing the scans now. I've also disabled scheduled scans to make sure that they don't remove malware via scans before I can get back to my desk. So these scans are running. Gonna let them be, and then I'll attend to them when I'm back at my desk. Okay guys, so let's quickly have a look see at Vipre security. It only seems like the Hitman Pro only found one suspicious file on the desktop. Sorry guys, because I only see now there's only audio now. I'm not sure why it recorded, so I'm just kind of going with the flow. Sorry for that. I think it was a brain fart from my side. You guys would have seen I showed malware bytes, also only 3 entries, 2 on the desktop, 1 Trojan banker. MSI said it was clean, and Norton PowerRaiser also only found 1 problem. So okay, cool, now we're back to Process Explorer. I do apologize for this. Okay, let's look at the values. Nothing funny running. Okay, so I can't see any funny names or anything that can indicate to me that it's malware, unless I'm missing it, but I can't see anything funny. Okay, cool. Now we're going to do live audio on this one. Okay, let's look at Hitman Pro. A little bit more results. So 1 in app data, and the rest is only on the desktop. Cool. So only also 1 malware outside of the location. These 2 are cookies, and then the rest seems to be on the desktop, so that's good. Oh sorry, actually I forgot that I paused MSI Soft. That's fine, let it scan. Okay, let's look at Norton PowerRaiser. Only 1 file, but only 1 entry, so that's on the app data as well. That's normally where malware tends to go when we do the testing. Okay, so let's look at malware bytes. Change my location quickly because there's a bit more. So 1 app data as well. The rest seems to be on the desktop, and then 1 registry key. That's a Trojan keylogger. So also 1 key. More malware on the desktop. And then MSI Soft is still scanning. Sorry for that guys, I completely forgot that I did actually pause it because the VM was getting so slow. So let's just quickly wait for this and we'll show the results for MSI Soft. Okay guys, MC Soft is finally done. Sorry for the delay. Let's quickly have a look see at the location. Okay, so we've got a couple of malware. So location app data also only 1. Seems like the majority of malware on the desktop, and only 1 in the registry. Okay, so it seems like ZoneAlarm also didn't do bad at all. So let's quickly have a look at the things running. I can't see anything funny. Okay, I can't see anything funny. According to virus total scores, also nothing is funny. So let's quickly have a look see at our files. Okay, downloads, these were 2 payment recipients of the malware when it opened up the browser, so I don't think that is actually harmful. Documents, it's fine. There's like the honeypot folder. Pictures, and our picture seems good. Yeah, so seems like everything's fine. So let's quickly have a look at the startup. Okay, so it seems like we only have one startup that's definitely funny, and then we've got a couple of then we've got these VirtualBox and VMware stuff that's not supposed to be here. So if I go according to that, I would say Vipre is the winner, only has one startup, and the malware results were extremely similar, and maybe even Vipre just did that tad better than ZoneAlarm, but for me it's neck and neck. It's extremely close between these two. It was all new samples, nothing old, I think more than 6 days, but the majority of malware was not even older than a day. The other pro thing for Vipre is nothing, no POPs installed, unfortunately for ZoneAlarm. That's actually what I forgot about now, is Opera browser installed and VLC player installed. Although these are apps that people use. In this case I would say they are POPs, because it's not something we want on this test VM. So I would say Vipre won this round, but it's extremely close between the two of them, especially when it came to real-time protection. So I must say I'm actually quite impressed with Vipre and ZoneAlarm. So for those of you guys who are using one of these two, or who are Vipre or ZoneAlarm fans, let us know what you guys thought about this video. More tests to come soon. With all these power cuts in our country, it's a bit of a problem to make these videos, because we have to relocate our sources elsewhere to keep services up and running. But hopefully that will end soon, and then we can start making proper videos again. So we're trying to make videos in the times that they are powered. So I do apologize if the video quality and cutting is a bit different than the previous ones, but we'll get back on track nonetheless. So guys, thank you again for watching, all the likes and new subscribers, and you guys who are always staying tuned to our videos. We do really appreciate it. More videos to come soon. We are actually busy making recordings now. In the next couple of minutes we're going to start again, and then we'll hopefully be able to edit those videos as well, and then upload them as soon as possible. But until next time guys, I'll see you guys soon.